Welcome to the channel. I'm Sheen. This is a live stream. If you guys could hear my audio, give me a thumbs up, say something in the chat. All right, Bobby D Bob, what's up? Thank you for the thumbs up. So audio is working good. Maria Fisher, aloha, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Joe Pena, what's up? Thank you for joining me. So we're gonna get started. So basically, right now, Workhorse is trading after hours. It was up to about $15 and 50 cents. Throughout the day, it was trading anywhere between 14 and $15 range. So it was down 7% from Friday. So let's go over my presentation. Before I get started, by the way, I had somebody use my link for Cash App, and I got a $5 bonus. So I didn't put this person's name because I didn't want to just put the person's name without getting their permission. But if you use my link in the description below, you'll get $5 just for using my link, and I'll get $5, and that also helps out the channel. So I appreciate that. Also, Webull gives you 2 free stocks. This is the list of people that use my link for Webull. So I appreciate every single person that used my link for signing up for Webull. You get 2 free stocks if you deposit $100. The current stock right now is Levi is about $12 stock that you get for free just for using my link. So I appreciate that. That really helps out the channel. Also, these free stocks are worth a lot of money. This is a free stock that I got on Robinhood. It is up 99%. So these stocks could be worth a lot of money. They gave me this stock. It's Pebblebrook. It's a hotel trust company. And so, like I said, it's worth. It was a 99% increase from when I first got this free stock. This is another free stock that I got. It's up 135%. Sorrento Therapeutics. They are working on a COVID vaccine. So these stocks could be worth a lot of money. When I got this free stock on Robinhood, it was like $2 or $1. Now it's worth $18. So don't overlook these free stocks. If you don't have Webull or Robinhood, consider signing up with my link. You get some free stocks. They could be worth a good amount of money. All right, sorry guys, that is just getting the business out of the way. Let's get started. So pre-market today, Workhorse was down up to 9.7% at 14.91, and that was basically the lowest it went. If anybody picked up this Workhorse pre-market, you got a good deal. Workhorse was not trading in the 14s. I think probably more than 2, maybe 3 weeks ago was the last time it traded in the 1490s, 1480s. So pre-market, it was the lowest it went today. Unfortunately, I wasn't fast enough to pick up this at 14.91. So right now, like I said, it was trading after hours at $15.50-ish. It closed at $15.27. So I put out this video yesterday talking about Workhorse. Is it going to drop Monday? So basically, I was alluding to this buying opportunity probably going to happen today on Monday. I put this out yesterday. I had 11,000 views. That is fantastic. I can't believe I get 11,000 views on my videos nowadays, but I appreciate you guys very much for watching my videos, finding content in my videos. So let's get started. Their earnings. Well, basically, I kind of expected this to happen. Q2, the whole illness situation. They were not delivering trucks, and it just shows. Their numbers are not good for the past couple of years. So it was no big surprise that they missed expectations. They missed in Q4 of 2019. They missed in Q1 of 2020. And Q2 of 2020 was definitely where the whole illness situation really ramped up. So I'm not surprised. I fully expected them to miss their earnings. I didn't think they would miss by this much. They were expected to have a negative 11 cents per share. They actually did negative $1.76 per share. So massive big bomb on their earnings. By the way, this is my Robinhood account. I'm showing you that I have a call option on Workhorse, and just showing you because I don't really talk about my options trading so much, but I do have a call option. It expires of December 2021, and it's a $25 call. So I'm hoping that we get into the $25, maybe $30 range, within the next few months, and I could get rid of this call and make some money on this call. But I like to buy calls way out in the future, so I have a lot of time for my strike price to get in the money. So there it is. I have one contract. I paid $740 for that. So let's get into it, guys. Workhorse second quarter results. So I'm going to go over the highlights. I'm not going to go over the whole thing. So they officially started delivering their new series of truck. They're calling it the C series. So this is their next generation. This is the product that they're shipping to UPS, DHL, Ryder. So these are the next generation trucks that they've been working on. So they shipped a whole 3 trucks. Not very impressive. So they shipped it to Ryder. And it is what it is. they've been having a lot of trouble manufacturing these trucks and getting their ramp up. So they just began production and delivered these 3 trucks. So they became the first medium and heavy duty BEV OEM to receive approval from the EPA and California CARB. So they are permitted to sell their vehicles to basically every single state in the United States, and they have the first movers advantage. They are the only last mile delivery truck for this medium and heavy duty to be able to sell in all 50 states. So that is definitely a plus. They could definitely build upon that. They have also affirmed that they are going to target their 300 to 400 vehicles in 2020. So they reaffirmed that goal. In August, Lordstown Motors, LMC, they basically came out a couple of weeks ago or last week, said that they are going to merge with Diamond Peak, and they're going to trade under the NASDAQ under RIDE, RIDE. So, Lordstown, Workhorse owns 10% of Lordstown. And so this 10% ownership after this merger is going to be worth roughly $160 million. So, basically overnight that Workhorse is going to be worth $160 million. So that is definitely a plus for this strategic partnership with Lordstown Motors. So in July, they also were eligible for the HVIP from California. So they will be able to get vouchers up to $50,000 per vehicle that they sell in California. So that is a lot of good news. They received a purchase order for 20 of their C1000 trucks from eTrucks, but they delivered. So I don't know why this says 2 trucks, the 2 C1000 trucks, because in the previous slide they said there was 3 deliveries. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Is it 2 or is it 3? I'm not sure if it even makes a big difference. But anyways, they delivered 2 to 3 trucks to Ryder. So going over their financial results, a big dud, $92,000. That was revenue in Q2, and the biggest concern is how much they spent in order to make this $92,000. They spent $1.5 million. So the cost of goods sold was $1.5 million. So that's not a good way to run a business. Obviously, if you spend $1.5 million and you only made $92,000, you're not doing good. Your business is in trouble. This is what happens when you first ramp a vehicle. And so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Once they start producing and get their numbers up, that they're going to be able to bring their cost of goods down and the revenue up. And so that is what they need to do very desperately. So they're saying that the increase of their cost of goods sold was basically the increase of labor and materials relating to the C-Series production. And like I said, they're ramping up a new vehicle, so they would be ramping up their cost, but it's just as an investor, it is not good to see cost being so high when the revenues are so low. Their interest expense increased $124 million, and that's also a bad sign. But the CEO did elaborate on this, and for the time being, I'm okay with the situation. So basically, he said it should be noted that the significant increase of $108 million in the interest expense was almost exclusively for the change in fair value of their convertible notes. So basically what he's saying is because the stock price, so understand that the stock price shot up from $1.81 at the end of March to $17.39 in just 1 month time. From March to June, it shot up from $1.81 to $17.39. And so this increase in their interest expense was due to that of their stock price going up because they had warrants out. They had warrants that people were buying for a lot cheaper than what they redeemed them for. So back in March and before March, these warrants were, I'm not sure what they were. They're probably pennies on the dollar. And when the stock price shot to $17.39, a lot of people cashed in their warrants. And so when people cash in their warrants, the company has to issue them shares at the current going price. So those people made a lot of money, buying warrants for cheap and then wait for the stock price to go up to $17 and they cash in those warrants. So that is what is caused that increase of their interest. So it's not a cash deal. It's kind of more all stocks. So for the time being, I'm not too concerned about this increase in their interest expense. But here are their numbers again. So net sales, 91,000. Cost to get that net 91,000 was 1.5 million. A little worrisome. Their net loss was $131 million versus $20 million in the previous year. So this is their balance sheet. They have $35 million in total assets, but they have $105 million in total liabilities. So The situation right now is they need revenue ASAP. They need to get this USPS contract. If they don't get this contract, it's going to be bad news. I think their stock price is going to go back down to like $5, $6 range. If they don't get this contract, it's going to look really bad. Their balance sheet is not going to be able to handle it. And like I said, they're trying to ramp up their production, but they're only expected, even if they complete their expectations for 2020, it's only going to be 300 to 400 trucks, and that is not enough to make up for their loss in revenue. So I want to share with you basically something that I heard on the conference call that I kind of predicted, and I said in my previous videos, I said in my Lordstown videos, and I said in my Workhorse videos. If you listen to those videos before, I talked about this situation where Workhorse is not capable of producing all these USPS trucks. They're only expected to produce 300 to 400 trucks in 2020. They've been in business for over 10 years. In their whole history, even the CEO has said in their whole history, producing out of their facility in Indiana, in Union City, they're at the most they only produce about 60,000 chassis at one time. So this contract is to produce 180,000 vehicles. Now, we don't know the time span. I don't know if it's going to be within 2 years, within 5 years. That detail is not yet out. But look, I'm a bull on Workhorse. I invested in them. I have calls in them. So, I'm just a realist. I'm looking at the numbers and I'm saying, wait a minute. At the most, your facility in Union City was producing in its heyday, it was about 60,000 chassis at one time. In 2020, you're only expecting to do 300 to 400 vehicles this year. So how are you going to be able to do your 300, 400 vehicles, for Ryder, for UPS, for all those other people, and then also build another 100 to 180,000 United States Postal Service trucks? They're not going to be able to do it. And that's just facts. That's just the history. That's just the numbers. They're not capable of doing that. So I predicted that they're going to have to outsource that. And who are they going to outsource it to? They're going to outsource it to Lordstown Motors, the company that they have 10% stake in, right? The company where the CEO is the former CEO of Lordstown, is the founder of Lordstown. Their endurance truck, Lordstown's endurance truck, is the technology of Workhorse. That's a Workhorse truck, the W15. That truck was basically, the rights of it was sold to Lordstown for them to produce it, because Workhorse cannot produce these trucks. So they outsourced it, and they basically sold the rights to Lordstown in order for them to manufacture the truck. Now, Lordstown has this remodeled facility that's capable of pumping out roughly 600,000 vehicles. It's a tried and true facility. It's a former GM facility. So it is tried and true. It is capable of producing up to 600,000 vehicles. Now, they're not going to produce 600,000 of those Lordstown trucks. So what are they going to do there? All this remodeling, they're going to, my opinion, is going to get that contract, and at least a big portion of it, of the United States Postal Service truck, is going to be produced at Lordstown. Lordstown is able to produce those United States Postal Service trucks for a cheaper price than they can do themselves in Union City. So that is my prediction, and I'll play you the clip of the CEO talking about this, about their strategy, because they had this question on their conference call, basically saying, hey, exactly what I just said. What is your plan for producing, if you get this contract, what is your plan for producing hundreds of thousands of trucks? Anybody that looks into their numbers knows that they can't do it. So I'll play the clip for you.
As you know, we can't say anything about the post office. So let me say it this way: is that Union City certainly has the ability and the history that can be really on any capacity level, and it's done 60,000 chassis, I think, in its history. So it does have that ability to do that. What I will say is that what we will look at is the capital we may have to put in there from a standpoint of automate systems, and the cost that we would have to do, and we would look at other areas and places that we could do actually sub-assembly and subcontracting. And I think you mentioned earlier, at least first, is Lordstown. And Lordstown's a great example of that, where it's a 6 million square foot facility that we would take a portion of that probably, and they could possibly do it at a lower cost than what we could do it for. So that's certainly something we would evaluate. Dwayne might have more to kind of add here too.
Clearly, we have been evaluating that, and that's been part of our long-term strategy, at least understanding if and when it would be capable. But it goes beyond just the plant itself. It's also the technologies.
All right, guys, so there you go. Basically, without officially 100% saying that they're going, if they get this contract, they will be producing the the United States Postal Service trucks out of Lordstown. Now, he didn't say definitively, but you heard it right there. That is something that they have looked into and they would be considering. And I'm just saying that is the only logical play. They could produce, maybe 40, maybe 50,000 of these USPS trucks out of their Union City facility, but they're not going to be able to produce all the trucks that they need with this USPS contract. So, I think the play here is that they have to prove to the United States Postal Service that they can meet their production to do all 100 to 180,000 vehicles out of their Union City facility and out of Lordstown's facility. And again, that brings a lot of jobs to Ohio. That is very important because that is where Donald Trump needs a lot of votes. That is where he promised the people of Ohio that he was going to bring jobs. That is the whole backstory of why Lordstown purchased that plant. It was a former GM plant. The Trump administration worked that backroom deal instead of closing that GM plant, because they were going to shutter that plant and just put everybody out of work. But there was a deal that was kind of facilitated by the Trump administration to not close down that plant, to sell it to Lordstown. And so, the Trump administration did orchestrate or partially orchestrate that plan. And so Trump did get a little bit of credit for doing that. But still, he needs to bring more jobs to Ohio. No Republican has ever won the presidency without getting Ohio. And, the first presidential debate is going to be in Ohio. It's going to be in Cleveland. So my prediction is he wants to get on that stage in the front of the people of Ohio and say, look, I rescued this plant. I did this. I brought all these jobs here. I want your vote. That's my prediction. So that's the backstory of Lordstown, Ohio, and Workhorse. So there you I played it. I played it for you. That is they already thought about this, and I'm just continuing to say this, that they have to prove that they will be able to produce these 100,000 to 180,000 trucks for the USPS out of Lordstown / Union City. If they can't prove that they can do that, I think the contract is going to be awarded probably 50-50. 50% of it will go to Workhorse. The other 50% will go to Oshkosh / Ford. It's just what it is. Yes, Ford and Oshkosh is going to produce a gasoline vehicle. They'll be able to use it for I think another maybe 10 or 15 years, whatever. There's, the regulation out there is that they have to become 100% zero emissions. I forgot the date. I think it's 2030 or 2040. I forget. But anyways, it is what it is. If Workhorse cannot prove that they can produce all 180,000 vehicles out of Lordstown / Union City, they're going to have a backup. USPS is not going to put all their eggs into one basket if Lordstown and Workhorse cannot prove that they can produce these trucks. And so, that is why there's that strategic partnership with Lordstown for them to produce these USPS trucks. So if they do, I believe that they will at least get 75% or up to 100% of this USPS contract. If they can't prove to USPS that they are able to produce all those vehicles, then I think 50% of it will be awarded to Oshkosh / Ford, and 50% will be awarded to Workhorse. So guys, that's my presentation. If you are watching this after the fact, after this live stream, just fast forward to maybe it was the 4 or 5 minute mark where I started my presentation, and I just ended it at the 25-minute mark. So if you just want to watch that presentation, it's between about 4 minutes and 25 minutes, so you don't have to listen to me babble. So guys, I am going to look over the chat and see if I could answer some questions. Thank you guys for joining me. I have 88 people in here, so 93 people in here now. So thank you very much for joining me. So guys, I'm coming up on 1 hour. So thank you guys very much. I have 156 people on this live stream. That is very impressive. Very humbled that you guys join me and find value in my content. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't yet already. Consider subscribing. Use my links in the description below. You get free stocks from Webull or Robinhood. If you don't have Cash App, use my link. You'll get $5. Somebody used my link today, and I got $5 for it, and they got $5 for it. So it really supports the channel. Thank you guys very much. I have over 3,000 subscribers. So thank you very much. I value all your time. Catch you in the next one. Peace.